Hello and welcome to our full harvest moon here in the Yoga Goddess Support Circle. I'm Zara Haji, founder and creator of Yoga Goddess, and as usual, I'm so excited to be sharing in today's full moon energies with you. The full moon actually went into its full phase yesterday around 5 p.m. Eastern. So, whether we catch the full moon meditation the day before, the day of, or the day after, the full moon energies are still potent and strong. So, I'm happy to be sharing in this beautiful female energy awakening with you all today. So, as we're getting started, I'd love to know who's on live with me here today. So, please go ahead and say hello. Share where you're joining us from. I'm in Toronto, Canada, and it is indeed the fall season here starting. Um, we had like a little bit of a resurgence of summer about a week ago, and now we're definitely in fall in the harvest. So I'm excited to hear from you. Hello, Katrina. Welcome from Madison. So lovely to hear from you. And Lisa, hello, Lisa from Wilmington. Nice to see you here. Welcome. And Laura from Fort Worth, Texas. Welcome. Anyone from Canada? So far, we have the US representing. Hello, Natasha. Welcome from New York City. So happy to be here with you today as well. And hello, Tabitha from Virginia. Welcome. And we have Dawn from Texas, Catherine from New Jersey, Jesse from Buffalo, getting closer. Jenny from Portland, welcome. Karen from Columbus, Stephanie from Covington, Georgia. Wow, we have Heidi from Prescott. Yes, I represent Ontario. And we have Elizabeth from Montreal. Welcome. Rosie from Phoenix. Well, it's so wonderful to be gathering with all of you here today. Hello, Colleen. Welcome. So, as we're getting started, and our group tends to get bigger and bigger with every full moon, so um, please do presence yourself in the group as we start to constellate our group energy. There's a power in making your presence known. So, as we're getting started, please do say hello, state your name, and when we start our meditation, each of us will call out our names. So, welcome, welcome. I'm really particularly excited about this harvest moon because we've had a difficult year. And so 2020, which was, all of us started 2020 feeling that we're going to get this perfect vision, this 2020 perspective. And we've definitely had lots of perspective changes, right? And a lot of eye opening awakenings. Hi, Francine. Welcome, welcome. And um, it's I think really been something way beyond any of our anticipation, anything that we could have imagined. And I feel like tapping into the feminine is like that. It's so uh, it's so kind of mind blowing. We can't even imagine it until we start stepping into the mystery and the magic. And so many of you have been, I think, hearing the inklings, receiving those little nudges of guidance and goddess winks, as one of my old mentors used to call it. And this sense of we have this ancient encoded wisdom within our wombs, within our cyclical nature, from within the initiation into menstruation as young girls. There's this spark of wisdom that gets ignited. But so many of us are kind of educated away from that understanding, from that wisdom, from that ancient heritage that's really in our lineage, in our blood, in our wombs. And so as we move into the Aquarian age, which is coming with 2021, which as a Kundalini yoga teacher, I'm so excited because we've been hearing about this Aquarian age, since I started studying yoga way back in 2003. So now to know that we're actually entering this age of awakening. And of course, what one of the most incredible planets or stars, I should say, that's leading this awakening is Venus, which of course Venus is the goddess representing the divine feminine, pleasure and love and abundance. And so this is a powerful full moon in October after the equinox, before Samhain. We actually have two full moons this month, so the next one's going to be a blue moon. So there's some potent energies, right? And it's the archetype of the enchantress, uh, sort of balanced with the crone, the witchy, wisdom holder um, archetype that leads by her own power, her own. It's kind of like a renegade energy. She flies by the seat of her pants. It's creativity, and it's her own magic. It's her own kind of phoenix power. So the witch, the healer woman archetype, it's really alive for us right now. And there's potent magic um, in the cosmos and available to all of us. As we enter into the season of the Enchantress in the Northern Hemisphere, fall, um, we're going to be meditating today with the orange and silver rays of the moon. So there's so much potent energy happening around us and available to us. And so the question that I want to lead us into in this live cast, since we are in the harvest moon, is what insight, what wisdom am I harvesting from my own feminine body and being right now, today, under this full moon? What is the wisdom and insight that wants to be known? And maybe to help you answer that question, maybe we can start with the question, what weirdness, what wrongness, what perceived lack are you ready to reclaim as a woman, as a feminine being, as a person in a body with a womb and a menstrual cycle? So I want to just pause there for a moment and let you answer that question. What weirdness, what wrongness, what perceived lack are you choosing to reclaim today under the full harvest moon? So I'll give you a moment to reflect and to respond. I was meditating on this question before we started the live. And for me, as a teacher of the four archetypes, how we cycle through four different energies with the four phases of the moon and the four seasons of the earth, I'll just go through that quickly. As I mentioned, we're in the enchantress phase with fall, and um, and even though it's a full moon, the moon phase that kind of reflects this enchantress archetype um, is the waning moon, is the moon that's darkening and going inward. And similar in our menstrual cycles during the premenstrual time, there's this deepening and darkening and moving inside into those places of reflection and withdrawal and kind of like retreat. And we're not really energized and out there in the world, but we're actually withdrawing into those quiet places of introspection and reflection. And the archetype that follows in the winter season and in our menstrual phase is the crone. And she's the wisdom keeper, and she's the old hag. She represents a lifetime lived and all of the wisdom that comes with a lifetime that's lived. And um, there's this sense of death, the death crone. Winter, everything is still, everything is quiet, the leaves are gone, the earth is frozen, there's snow everywhere and ice, and there's the sense of ending. And and that's the new moon that represents, in terms of the moon phase, that represents that archetype. And then we move into spring, the maiden energy, the crescent moon, the beginnings of the earth coming back to life and awakening and quickening. And then we have summer and the archetype of the mother, the full moon, the blossoming of the earth, and that sense of abundance. So, coming back to the reflection that I was having before our meditation is sort of like a perceived lack of for myself, that I don't really feel so much this mother archetype much in my cycle. I feel like I really feel the crone, I really feel the enchantress. I have a tiny bit of the maiden and a tiny bit of the mother, but predominantly I feel the darker energies. So, there's that sense of, well, there's something wrong, that there's something not right about the way I'm cycling. And I had an interesting conversation with Heidi, who's our marketing and writing goddess um, here at Yoga Goddess. And, we talked about how being in the prior to menopause stage of life, so the perimenopause stage of life in our 40s, means that the enchantress archetype is dominant right now in our lives. And so even though we might be cycling through the phase of our cycle where we might be in the maiden or we might be in the mother, but we're still feeling the enchantress really strongly. The question that came forward is, well, is the dominant archetype of the season of life that we're in actually kind of guiding our cycles? So there's this way that when we look deeper into the insights, into the wisdom that our body has for us, we can dispel the wrongness, we can dispel the perceived lack or weirdness. Like, I used to think, well, I'm really messed up because I keep changing throughout the month. And there's these 4 different ways that I feel like dark and I feel light. That's all I could really name. And I feel more dark than light throughout the month. And then when I learned about our cyclical nature, all of a sudden I wasn't psycho, I was cyclical. And it was because of my period. So, dispelling this notion that something's wrong with us or we're weird as feminine beings or lacking in some way, I think is an important question to start with. So I hope, Mandy, that I gave you an example that you could understand. And so I'm going to ask you again, what weirdness, what wrongness, what perceived lack are you ready to reclaim as yours, as a feminine being, um, today under the harvest moon? You're welcome, Mindy. So I'll give you a moment to write a comment either in the chat or write in your journal. Just take a moment to reflect about what this means for you as you're entering into your own feminine energy awakening. Shannon says we're entering our first IVF treatment next cycle after several years of fertility issues and several recent unsuccessful IUI treatments. I'm sorry to hear that, Shannon. And my intention is therefore to give up control of the outcome and of the situation itself and reclaim the beauty of surrender. Beautiful, Shannon. Thank you. And that energy of surrender, I would say, is so perfect for fall as the leaves tumble down and we willingly move into the descent and death of winter. So I welcome that energy for you, Shannon, with this season. Lynn, thank you. I used to love that expression. I'm not psycho, I'm cyclical, period. So that's a phrase that I coined many, many moons ago. Katrina says, being overly emotional. Thank you, Katrina. I love that you're reclaiming that. Overly emotional in air quotes. Diandra says, I was kind of mocked postpartum when my body didn't immediately return to cycling and instead focused on feeding the baby, or rather feeding side babies because I was producing so much milk. Beautiful, Diandra. That's a beautiful energy to be reclaiming. Surrender, yes. And Gretchen says, I want to reclaim the weirdness and inward lookingness that I had as an only child in a remote area. Beautiful, Gretchen. Thank you. All right, so let's get ready to meditate. I like to, for the full moons, each month we meditate with the moonlight, the moon rays, I should say, that Miranda Gray channels with in relationship to each full moon. So this month we're receiving the rays of silver and orange, and I'll just share what that means. So the silver ray opens us to peace, harmony, equality, and cooperation, and the orange ray helps us to bring people together to create belonging, warmth, and a sense of oneness. Together, these rays enable us to embody the mother and create a single worldwide family of harmony and oneness, and to feel supported and loved. So, given the current political climate, I think that we could really use this energy. So, let's hold that in our larger awareness to bring peace and love to the whole planet, and to also consider the guiding question that I posed at the beginning of the live cast. So just taking a moment to close your eyes, to take a deep breath, tuning into your heart. Breathing down into your hips, releasing any tension in your jaw, softening your eyes and forehead. Letting go of forcing and surrendering into gentleness. So much of our lives is lived from the masculine paradigm of doing. And let's surrender into the feminine right now of being. Of settling gently into ourselves. And if you like, you can place your left palm up, your right palm down, rest your hands, and imagine that our circle is connecting hand to hand all over the world. Whether you're joining us live or later on the replay, you are included in this circle. Let's bring each of ourselves into the circle by stating our names out loud. Zara. And just imagine that you can hear and feel all of the women gathered here today and those who will come later on the replay. And all of us connected hand to hand energetically, womb to womb, mind to mind, heart to heart, creating a chain of feminine energy and love all around Mother Earth. Feel the gentleness. So this meditation that we're about to start is offered as a gift of gentle light from the Moon Mother for the healing, well-being, and peace of all around the world. In the silver white light of the moon, all colored energies are available to us, softened through the feminine. As we begin, close your eyes and take a deep breath. Feel your weight on the floor or on your chair, and let your body sink down into the support of where you're sitting or lying. Now bring your awareness to your lower belly. Feel, know, or see that your womb tree lies within your lower belly. Its beautiful trunk splits into two main branches, and they are full of deep green leaves, small white flowers, and red jewel-like fruits on the ends. The tree's roots grow down deep into the darkness of the earth. Follow them down. Now become aware of the full moon above you, bathing you in the most beautiful silver white light, washing through your aura and over your skin. Within the silver white light lies all the colors of the rainbow, softened into a gentler feminine vibration. See or feel that within the moonlight are individual rays of silver and orange light. The silver and orange light flows over you and through you, down your body and into your womb center. Open your womb and let it fill with color and energy and love of the Moon Mother. Repeat in your mind, I open my womb center with love to receive the energies of orange and silver moonlight. I open my womb center with love to receive the energies of orange and silver moonlight. I open my womb center with love to receive the energies of orange and silver moonlight. Let's take the next 5 minutes to bask in the love of the Moon Mother, showering us with the light of the Divine Feminine, the silver white light holding all the colors of the rainbow, and us receiving specifically the orange and silver rays of the moon into our wombs. I open my womb with love to receive the energies of orange and silver moonlight. Breathe and receive. Now let's hold the question. What wisdom or insight is ready or waiting to be harvested from within my womb? What wisdom and insight lie within my female body, within my womb, waiting to be harvested? Just ask the question and open to receive an answer. What wisdom and insight lie within my womb, within my female body, waiting to be harvested? Whether or not you get an answer right here in this moment, just surrender that attachment, knowing that you will receive your answer in the perfect moment. Take your time to start to come back. Begin to grow your womb tree roots deep into the earth. Bring your awareness to your heart and feel gratitude for the healing gift of the Moon Mother. Take a deep breath and smile. When you're ready, open your eyes. Welcome back. I would love to know what that meditation was like for you, whether you received an insight, a piece of wisdom. Marta from Barcelona says, I want to reclaim the perfection of my body and of my creations. Beautiful, Marta. Arian says, reclaim my healthy womb. Beautiful. Cynthia says, I've dealt with fibroids and the resulting anemia. Though I've had the fibroids taken care of, the fatigue, brain fog, etc. remain. I'm letting go of how I think my healing should look and instead allowing my body the time it needs to fully recover. Beautiful, Cynthia. Thank you for sharing. And Jenny says, I want to reclaim my bossiness, aka leadership. Beautiful, Jenny. So maybe ask yourself if the maiden is the leading archetype in your life. And in your maiden phase of your menstrual cycle, so right after your period, if you can really harness that leadership boss, lady boss energy, um, and really ride it throughout your cycle. All right. Liz says strength, power, confidence is what I harvested. Beautiful, Liz. And Mickey says, I didn't get a message, but more of a feeling like my womb wants to awaken. Oh, beautiful. Mickey, thank you so much for sharing that. So I mentioned in some of the posts on Facebook and the emails leading up to the meditation today that I've been working on something really juicy and really special to really support you, as so many more women are waking up to discovering the messages of their body, of their wombs, of their cycles. And whether or not you have a womb or a menstrual cycle right now, as female beings, we continue to cycle, whether that's with the moon phases or the seasonal changes. We're always cycling. And I want to give you all a way to start to live in sync with your cycle. So I have been concocting something really special. We're all really excited about it here at Yoga Goddess. It's not ready yet. It's not finished yet, but it's coming soon. And the first people that are going to receive it are those in the Yoga Farm 300-hour Advanced Yoga Teacher Training Program. So maybe some of you are part of that. The program just started yesterday on the full moon. And I was given permission to announce that for those in the Yoga Goddess community, if any part of you is niggling and saying you would like to learn more, journey with your cycle, journey with the wisdom of Kundalini Yoga, the Enneagram, and Ayurveda. These are all the 4 different aspects that we're going to be covering in the Advanced 300-hour Yoga Teacher Training Program that I am co-teaching with Yoga Farm. And so I just wanted to put that, plant that little bit of a seed. If it's something that it resonates for you, if it's something that you've been thinking about, there's literally like this much time left. The first class is Sunday, so there's a little bit of time to join us. And I'll be teaching specifically about using Kundalini Yoga and womb wisdom to balance the feminine archetypes that we cycle through every month. And even if you're in perimenopause or menopause, I want to show you how you too can connect with the archetypes, because they still manifest in the life phase that we're in. So there's all this body of wisdom that's available to us that I really want to give you access to. So this is one of the ways, if you want to do it quicker before I release the Living in Sync with Your Cycle program to the Yoga Goddess community, you can jump into Yoga Farm teacher training. The 300-hour Advanced Yoga Teacher Training Program is for those who are yoga teachers and those who are not. So there's 2 options. And thank you so much for sharing in the full moon energy with me here today. We'll be back. As I mentioned, there's a blue moon this month, and it's actually on October 31st, which is a Saturday. And we'll be back at the same time and to meditate for the blue moon. So I hope you'll join me there, or join me back here, I should say, at the end of the month. And I can't wait to share the Living in Sync with Your Cycle program that I am creating with all of you when it's ready. So sending you so much full moon love. Bye for now.